Houston. One of the final conversations I had with Whitney Houston was about Phyllis Hyman. I went to one of Whitney's birthday parties and talking about Arista, because you cross-referenced that before. Whitney mentioned to me that when they were both signed to Arista, that there was some kind of big party for the Arista artists. And Phyllis was there and was sitting in a stool, and Phyllis on a stool is like the a tower, and she was there, and so she said, in the middle of the party, she said, Whitney was like young artist being signed, and she said, somebody brought me and escorted me in, and I'm doing my thing, say hello to people and blah blah blah, and then she said somebody brought her over to meet Phyllis, and so she said, and she just goes, she's just excited to meet everybody. And she said Phyllis looked her up and down like. Looked her up and down, and she said Phyllis got off the stool and walked around her to just walk around her and look her up and down. And then she sat. This is what Whitney told me, and she said she sat down back in the stool. She said, "So you're the one." And then Whitney said, and Whitney looked her back in the eye. And Whitney was when I worked with Whitney, that's one thing I remember. She would always look you directly in the eye. She had a very firm handshake too. That Whitney looked at Phyllis and she said, yes. I'm the one.
All right now.
Then Whitney told me that Phyllis said, you know what? People are not going to like us to kind of know each other, or, she said, but there's going to a time when, you're going to need me. And here's all of my numbers. You call me. And she said she was absolutely right. And when I went on my first tour, she said there were times when, I did need to call her, and I called her and she always took my call and she had my back. Wow. And so I was proud, because that was the Phyllis I knew. Phyllis, who was the mentor, who would make time for artists, made time for me. I remember inviting her to some little up-and-coming performances I came, and she came in full big hat with her entourage, her inviting me to dinner. I went to the Shark Bar, and Denzel Washington was sitting over there. She said, come meet Denzel, and, just hanging out, introducing me to people. Roberta Flack grabbed my hand. At the day of her funeral, I wasn't invited. I heard about it on the radio. And I just went, and the security wasn't letting anybody. Roberta saw me and told the security guard to wait and grabbed my hand and pushed me so I could sit with her, because she remembered Phyllis talking about me. And I met, Roberta through Phyllis. So she was loving like that. And I think that I just hope she feels the love right now. And I'm glad you guys are sending that loving energy to her legacy today. Thank you.